Going from 25% to 15% body fat, how long will it take you? 2 months, 4 months, or maybe a year? It all depends on how you approach it. I will be showing you the fastest way to reach your fat loss goals. And this is not just based on my experience. I have coached hundreds of people that achieved fantastic results while maintaining their hard-earned muscle. I will be sharing all of my secrets and real-life examples in this video. I want to specifically help you get to 15% body fat because that's a healthy fat percentage for most people to maintain. At 15% body fat, you will have nice abdominal definition and good muscle shape, but you will not be completely ripped, which is actually a good thing because when you have a healthy buffer of body fat, your energy in the gym is better, you have fewer food cravings, and you can overall be more flexible with your nutrition while staying lean. I have been at a 10% body fat percentage before and maintained that for a long time. And I must say that eventually it becomes unsustainable. Around 13 to 15% body fat is where I feel the most energized. And I don't have to be restrictive with my nutrition to maintain this level of leanness. I want the same for you. First, we have to start from the beginning. Many of the people I work with have around 25% body fat when they begin their fat loss journey, like my online coaching clients, Mac and Amir. But of course, these are two different starting points. Amir already has some muscle mass, so we can focus on losing fat as quickly as possible while maintaining muscle. Mac, on the other hand, is a beginner trainee that has the potential to build muscle while losing fat. So a slower fat loss pace actually is more beneficial for Mac because it will allow us to build muscle throughout the fat loss process. Essentially, how much muscle you carry should determine how fast you lose fat. If you already have high muscle mass, the goal is to simply maintain your muscle as you lose body fat. So you can lose the first 5% of your body fat relatively quickly within, let's say, 6 to 8 weeks. This is also how I approach my fat loss phase. To go from 25 to 20% body fat, it took me about 8 weeks. The same goes for my online coaching client, Amir. In about 8 weeks, Amir was able to go from 25 to 20% body fat. But for someone who is relatively new to working out, I recommend a slower fat loss approach and to lose that first 5% of your body fat in 12 weeks. If we take my online coaching client Mac as an example, it took us 12 weeks to lose the first 5% body fat, but we also gained strength in the gym and built some muscle. In terms of the nutrition approach for losing body fat, I recommend the following guidelines. If you have more than 1 year of training experience, take your goal body weight and multiply that by 10 to 12. So if you are 25% body fat at 200 pounds and you want to get to 15% body fat at 180 pounds, take your goal body weight at 180 pounds, multiply that by 10 to 12 calories, and somewhere between 1800 to 2160 calories should be your daily intake. This range will place most people in an aggressive calorie deficit in which you can expect to lose 5% of your body fat in 8 weeks. Now, I must emphasize, the calorie calculation I mentioned is a general guideline. Your calorie needs could be higher or lower. You can book a one-on-one consultation with me if you want a fully personalized fat loss approach designed by yours truly. Next to maintaining a calorie deficit with your nutrition, we also need to make sure that you maintain your hard-earned muscle. This is where consistently lifting weights and your protein intake plays a key role. There is no need to crush yourself with cardio in every workout you do, because we already created a calorie deficit with your nutrition. Instead, focus your training on lifting weights to maintain strength and promote muscle retention as you get leaner. Lifting weights 3 to 4 times per week is a good aim for most people. To also ensure your muscles get enough protein to recover from your lifting workouts, consume at least 0.7 grams per pound of your goal body weight in protein. A meta-analysis of 49 studies shows that 0.7 grams per pound is enough to support muscle development. This is in a nutshell how my coaching client Amir was able to go from 25% to 20% body fat while maintaining his muscle mass. Now, another scenario is that of a beginner trainee. Like I said, someone that just started lifting has the potential to build muscle while losing fat. This is supported by a 2020 research review. But to build muscle while losing fat, you need a more moderate fat loss approach. The scientific literature clearly shows that the faster you lose body fat, the less likely you are to build muscle. A beginner trainee does not have enough muscle mass to focus on just losing body fat. Losing fat without building any muscle oftentimes results in a skinny fat look, and we want to avoid that. This is why for someone with less than a year of training experience, I recommend consuming around 13 calories per pound of your goal body weight. So in the example of someone being 25% body fat at 180 pounds and they want to get to 15% body fat at 162 pounds, this person needs to consume around 2100 calories per day. The recommended daily protein intake is still at a minimum of 0.7 grams per pound of your goal body weight. That's around 113 grams per day. The beginner trainee will now be in a moderate calorie deficit while still having enough energy to push themselves in their workouts and build some lean muscle mass. With this fat loss approach, my online coaching client Mac was able to go from 25% to 20% body fat in 12 weeks. And Mac also gained a ton of foundational strength in the gym. So I just discussed how you can go from 25% to 20% body fat with two different scenarios. Now it's time to progress from 20% to 15% body fat. This is the fun part, because when you go from the 20% body fat range to around 15% body fat, you will start seeing a lot more muscle definition, like you can see here with my other online coaching client, Nabil. For the most part, the approach that helped you progress from 25% to 20% body fat is also effective for going from 20 to 15%. But if you keep everything the same, you will notice that your progress slows down. The human body has an adaptive metabolism. If you maintain a lower calorie intake for a couple of months, your body adapts to this lower calorie intake by also burning fewer calories. In nutritional sciences, this is known as metabolic adaptations. There's research showing that your daily energy expenditure can drop with around 20% after 8 weeks of being in a calorie deficit. Just think about it. If you get leaner, your body gets lighter and it literally costs less energy to move yourself around. Next to that, you may start moving less spontaneously. A side effect of a calorie deficit is that you sometimes feel more tired. So you may be less outgoing and burn fewer calories outside of the gym. For this reason, typically the only thing you have to do if you want to move your body fat from 20% to 15% is add a light daily activity to your routine. This could be something like a daily walk, some cycling, or even just a short 20-minute elliptical session after your workout. Your calorie deficit, protein intake, and lifting sessions still form the foundation of your fat loss phase. We just need to add some light activity next to your usual workouts to go from that 20% to 15% body fat range. For my online coaching clients, I typically recommend going for an extra 30-minute walk on a daily basis. And you will see the fat loss progress continuing to happen. This is also how Mac eventually was able to get to 15% body fat after another 12 weeks. The same goes for Amir. We just continued the same approach while adding a daily walk for the next 10 weeks. So to finally answer your question about how long it takes to go from 25 to 15% body fat, between 16 to 24 weeks is what you can realistically expect. If you have good muscle mass and want to push yourself, reaching 15% body fat within 16 weeks is doable. For beginner trainees, I recommend a slower approach. Keep in mind roughly a 24-week process. To some people, 16 to 24 weeks may sound like a long time, but I want to remind you that you have more in your life than just fitness. You may have busy weeks at work, go on a short vacation, or have a sick week. These potential circumstances need to be considered as well whenever you plan your fitness goals. Also, in 5 years from now, you will not care if it took you 2 months or 4 months to achieve your goals. What will matter is that you had a sustainable process with healthy habit changes that allows you to stay lean long term. If you are also ready to take your fitness to the next level with my help, apply to my one-on-one online coaching service. I will design your fully personalized training and nutrition approach while holding you accountable throughout the process. If you are tired of doing this fitness thing alone and you want an expert by your side, make sure to apply and I will reach out to you. For now, I want to thank you for watching this video. I have an awesome new video aligned for you here above, so go ahead and check that out. Thank you for your support, and I will see you in the next one.